Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into the remarkable story of AMD, a company that has faced enormous challenges, fierce competition, and moments of doubt, yet managed to stage one of the most inspiring comebacks in the technology industry. This is the tale of how a company once considered the underdog in the world of semiconductors turned the tables on industry giants and reshaped the global computing landscape. Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD, began its journey in 1969, founded by Jerry Sanders and a group of engineers who envisioned creating innovative microprocessors and chips to rival the established players of the time. From the very beginning, AMD was a challenger, often positioned as the alternative to larger, more dominant companies. While it lacked the vast resources and market share of competitors, it possessed creativity, ambition, and a willingness to take risks that would later define its character. The story we're about to explore spans decades of innovation, setbacks, and reinvention. You'll see how AMD navigated technical challenges, financial crises, and intense competition, particularly from the industry leader Intel. You'll also learn about the critical decisions, technological breakthroughs, and visionary leadership that fueled AMD's resurgence, allowing it to become a major force in CPUs, GPUs, and data center technologies. This narrative is not just about technology, it's about resilience, strategic thinking, and the power of perseverance. AMD's journey illustrates how a company can transform from a struggling underdog into a market leader, demonstrating that innovation, risk-taking, and vision can overcome even the toughest odds. In the chapters ahead, we will explore AMD's early years, its struggles to compete in a rapidly evolving semiconductor market, the pivotal moments that defined its comeback, and the strategies that enabled it to regain respect, market share, and technological leadership. This story is a testament to the fact that in the fast-paced world of technology, the underdog can not only survive but thrive, and even redefine the rules of the game. Get ready to discover how AMD turned setbacks into opportunities, challenges into victories, and a dream into a global powerhouse in the world of computing. This is the story of AMD's comeback, and it's a story full of lessons for innovators, entrepreneurs, and technology enthusiasts alike. In the early years, AMD faced the daunting challenge of establishing itself in a market dominated by large, well-funded competitors. The company focused on producing memory chips, logic chips, and microprocessors, striving to carve out a niche where it could demonstrate its technical capabilities. From the beginning, AMD's engineers were driven by a determination to innovate and prove that quality and creativity could rival sheer scale. During the 1970s and 1980s, AMD began producing chips compatible with Intel's processors, a strategic move that allowed the company to enter the mainstream PC market. This decision laid the foundation for a long and complex rivalry with Intel, as AMD positioned itself as the alternative for consumers and businesses seeking high-performance yet affordable computing solutions. Licensing agreements and reverse-engineered designs enabled AMD to gain credibility while steadily improving its technical expertise. Despite these early efforts, AMD often struggled financially. Competing against a dominant company with vast resources meant that the underdog had to work harder, innovate faster, and make strategic choices that could determine the company's survival. Leadership focused on efficiency and targeted innovation, emphasizing the development of high-quality chips that could challenge the market status quo. It was a period defined by resilience, careful risk management, and a relentless pursuit of technical excellence. In the 1990s, AMD began to expand its portfolio, investing in research and development to create its own line of processors. The company introduced the AMD K5 and K6 series, which brought competitive performance to desktop PCs. These products marked a turning point, signaling that AMD could produce original designs capable of competing with industry leaders, rather than solely relying on compatibility strategies. Consumer reception was positive, but challenges remained. Marketing, scale, and brand perception were areas where AMD still lagged behind larger rivals. During this time, AMD also began exploring graphics processing technology, recognizing the potential of GPUs to revolutionize gaming, professional computing, and multimedia applications. This foresight would later prove critical, as graphics performance became a major differentiator in computing experiences. However, entering the GPU market required significant investment, technical expertise, and the ability to compete with established players, presenting a new set of challenges for the ambitious Underdog. The 1990s and early 2000s were a formative period for AMD. The company learned that survival in the semiconductor industry required a combination of innovation, strategic partnerships, and operational efficiency. By investing in both CPUs and GPUs, AMD began to build the technical foundation that would eventually enable its historic comeback. These years were about laying the groundwork, developing talent, refining designs, and preparing for the moment when the company could transition from competitor to contender on the global stage. AMD's early decades demonstrate the importance of persistence, adaptability, and strategic vision in a highly competitive industry. While financial pressures and market dominance by rivals presented constant obstacles, the company's commitment to innovation and quality created the technical and cultural foundation necessary for future success. It was a story of slow but deliberate progress, a prelude to the breakthroughs and victories that would define AMD's resurgence in the years to come. The early 2000s marked a critical juncture for AMD, a period defined by both opportunity and immense pressure. Intel continued to dominate the CPU market, maintaining a reputation for high performance and strong brand recognition. AMD, however, had begun to refine its approach, investing heavily in research and development to produce chips that could challenge Intel not only in performance, but also in price and efficiency. The company's engineers worked tirelessly to create architectures that could deliver superior performance while maintaining affordability, a delicate balance in a highly competitive industry. One of the pivotal achievements of this era was the introduction of the AMD Athlon series. These processors represented a significant leap forward, demonstrating that AMD could produce chips capable of outperforming Intel's offerings in certain benchmarks. The Athlon's success was not just a technical triumph, but also a psychological boost for the company and its supporters. For the first time in decades, AMD was not merely the underdog. It was a contender that could challenge the industry leader on merit. The launch of the Athlon series also showcased AMD's ability to innovate rapidly. Unlike Intel, which often followed a predictable development cycle, AMD embraced the culture of experimentation and risk-taking. The company explored new materials, design philosophies, and manufacturing techniques to push the limits of performance. This willingness to experiment became a hallmark of AMD's approach, allowing it to seize opportunities that more cautious competitors might overlook. During this period, AMD also began to make strategic acquisitions to strengthen its technological base. The purchase of ATI Technologies in 2006 was particularly significant, bringing AMD into the GPU market and positioning the company as a combined CPU and GPU powerhouse. This move not only diversified AMD's product offerings but also allowed it to compete directly in emerging markets such as gaming consoles, high-performance computing, and professional graphics. By controlling both processors and graphics technology, AMD created synergies that would become critical in later years. Despite these achievements, challenges persisted. Intel's dominance, coupled with AMD's smaller scale, meant that the company still faced intense scrutiny from investors and consumers alike. Manufacturing limitations, marketing gaps, and occasional performance inconsistencies reminded the industry that AMD's comeback was not guaranteed. Leadership focused on long-term strategy, emphasizing continuous innovation and the cultivation of engineering talent to overcome these obstacles. The early 2000s set the stage for AMD's transformation. It was a time of learning, growth, and strategic positioning. By embracing risk, investing in technology, and diversifying its product portfolio, AMD laid the foundation for the revolutionary breakthroughs that would come in the next decade. The company's trajectory during this period demonstrates the importance of resilience, vision, and calculated risk-taking in redefining an underdog into a formidable industry player. This era also highlighted a key lesson: in technology, agility and innovation often outweigh sheer size. AMD's ability to challenge a market leader with fewer resources exemplifies the power of strategic focus, technical excellence, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. These principles would guide the company through both its struggles and its eventual resurgence, shaping the comeback story that continues to inspire the tech industry today. By the late 2000s, AMD faced a complex landscape. While the Athlon and Opteron series had established the company as a serious competitor, Intel continued to dominate the mainstream CPU market, particularly in laptops and enterprise servers. AMD's challenge was no longer just technological, it was strategic. The company needed to differentiate itself, capture market share, and maintain investor confidence while preparing for the next wave of computing innovation. This period saw AMD intensify its focus on multi-core processors, recognizing that the future of computing would rely on parallel processing and energy efficiency. The development of dual-core and eventually quad-core CPUs allowed AMD to compete not only on performance but also on cost-effectiveness and power consumption. Consumers and businesses seeking alternatives to Intel's offerings increasingly turned to AMD for affordable, high-performance solutions. AMD's leadership also understood the importance of branding and perception. For decades, the company had been viewed as the budget option, a second choice to Intel. To change this narrative, AMD emphasized innovation, quality, and performance in its marketing strategies. Campaigns highlighted benchmarks, real-world computing advantages, and the company's commitment to pushing the boundaries of technology. Over time, this helped reshape public perception, demonstrating that AMD could be both innovative and reliable. The acquisition of ATI Technologies continued to pay dividends during this period. AMD leveraged its GPU capabilities to enter the growing world of gaming, professional graphics, and high-performance computing. The integration of CPUs and GPUs under a single brand allowed AMD to explore new product categories, such as the Accelerated Processing Unit, APU, which combined both processing and graphics capabilities on a single chip. This innovation offered unique advantages for consumers, particularly in laptops and compact devices, and demonstrated AMD's ability to anticipate market needs. Challenges persisted, however. Manufacturing issues and economic pressures sometimes slowed product rollouts and impacted performance. The global financial crisis of 2008 created additional strain, forcing AMD to make difficult decisions about investments, workforce, and strategic priorities. Yet through these difficulties, the company maintained its commitment to research and development, recognizing that long-term success depended on technical leadership rather than short-term gains. This era also marked AMD's growing presence in the server and data center market. With Intel's Xeon processors dominating enterprise environments, AMD needed to offer compelling alternatives. The development of the Opteron series and later innovations focused on delivering high performance per watt, competitive pricing, and compatibility with existing infrastructure. These efforts laid the groundwork for AMD's eventual resurgence in data center and cloud computing, a segment that would become crucial in the following decade. Ultimately, the late 2000s were a period of preparation and foundation building. AMD's focus on multi-core processing, integrated CPU-GPU solutions, branding, and emerging markets created a platform for future success. The company learned valuable lessons about resilience, strategic positioning, and the importance of anticipating technological trends. These experiences would shape the strategies that enabled AMD to rise from underdog to industry leader in the years to come, proving that even in the face of adversity, careful planning and relentless innovation can pave the way for a historic comeback. The early 2010s were a challenging yet transformative period for AMD. The company faced intensified competition from Intel, which continued to dominate the consumer and enterprise CPU markets. Meanwhile, new players and trends in computing, including mobile devices, gaming consoles, and cloud infrastructure, demanded innovation at an unprecedented pace. AMD understood that survival, and eventual resurgence, required both technological breakthroughs and a redefined market strategy. During this period, AMD focused on refining its bulldozer architecture, aimed at delivering high-performance multi-core CPUs for both desktops and servers. The bulldozer chips offered significant core counts, promising parallel processing capabilities that could rival Intel's offerings. However, execution challenges and performance inconsistencies in real-world applications limited the impact of these products. AMD learned crucial lessons about balancing theoretical performance with practical efficiency, understanding that real-world benchmarks and user experience were critical to regaining credibility. Despite setbacks, AMD's commitment to innovation never wavered. The company expanded its focus on GPU technology, enhancing its Radeon series to target gaming enthusiasts, creative professionals, and emerging markets. By leveraging the expertise gained from the ATI acquisition, AMD created competitive graphics solutions that complemented its CPU offerings. This dual focus allowed the company to address both consumer and enterprise needs, from high-performance gaming rigs to professional workstations. Financially, AMD faced pressure to optimize operations while continuing to invest in research and development. The company streamlined manufacturing partnerships, leveraged global supply chains, and focused on cost-effective production without sacrificing quality. Strategic partnerships with console makers, such as Sony and Microsoft, allowed AMD to supply custom APUs for gaming consoles, creating a stable revenue stream and increasing brand visibility in the consumer electronics space. These moves were critical in maintaining the company's financial health during periods of competitive pressure. AMD also began to cultivate a culture of resilience and innovation, emphasizing the importance of long-term thinking. Leadership encouraged engineers and designers to explore unconventional solutions, embrace risk where necessary, and prioritize performance and efficiency over short-term gains. This culture would become essential for the company's eventual turnaround, as it fostered an environment where groundbreaking ideas could flourish despite market pressures. During this era, AMD recognized the growing importance of emerging technologies, such as high-performance computing, virtualization, and energy-efficient architectures. By investing in these areas, the company positioned itself to serve not only traditional PC markets, but also data centers, cloud services, and scientific computing applications. This forward-looking approach laid the groundwork for AMD's later success, demonstrating that a combination of technical innovation, strategic partnerships, and market foresight could enable a smaller company to challenge industry giants. The early 2010s were, therefore, a time of preparation and learning. AMD's experiences during this period shaped the strategies, technologies, and cultural mindset that would fuel its comeback. While challenges remained, the company's focus on integrated CPU-GPU solutions, partnerships, and emerging markets positioned it to seize opportunities in a rapidly evolving industry. These years proved that resilience, innovation, and strategic vision could set the stage for a dramatic resurgence, even when faced with formidable competitors and market uncertainty. By the mid-2010s, AMD was poised at a turning point. The lessons of the past decade had shaped its technological capabilities, corporate strategy, and organizational culture. While Intel still held a commanding position in CPUs, AMD had refined its focus on areas where it could innovate and compete effectively. The company recognized that success would come from combining technical excellence with strategic positioning, leveraging both its CPU and GPU expertise to carve out new opportunities in gaming, professional computing, and data centers. One of the most significant developments was the continued advancement of AMD's graphics division. The Radeon series, already a key part of the company's portfolio, became a cornerstone of AMD's strategy to capture the gaming and professional graphics markets. By emphasizing performance, efficiency, and competitive pricing, AMD created products that challenged NVIDIA in GPUs and provided a compelling option for PC enthusiasts and developers. These efforts strengthened AMD's reputation as a company capable of producing high-quality, cutting-edge technology across multiple domains. Simultaneously, AMD focused on laying the groundwork for its next-generation CPU architectures. Engineers worked tirelessly on the Zen architecture, a bold attempt to redefine performance and efficiency for both desktop and server markets. Zen was designed to address the shortcomings of previous architectures, delivering higher instructions per cycle, improved energy efficiency, and scalability across cores. The development of Zen was not just a technical endeavor. It represented a cultural shift within AMD, emphasizing collaboration, innovation, and meticulous attention to detail. During this period, AMD also strengthened its partnerships and collaborations. Strategic agreements with console makers, cloud providers, and enterprise clients allowed the company to secure reliable revenue streams while showcasing its technical capabilities. These partnerships demonstrated AMD's adaptability and ability to align with emerging market trends, from gaming consoles like the PlayStation and Xbox to cloud computing services that demanded high-performance, energy-efficient processors. Financially, AMD remained cautious but optimistic. The company had to balance investment in research and development with operational efficiency and market competitiveness. Leadership prioritized sustainable growth over short-term gains, understanding that the company's comeback depended on consistent technological excellence and strong market positioning. This disciplined approach ensured that AMD could invest in innovation while maintaining resilience against market fluctuations. The mid-2010s were also a time of rebuilding trust and credibility with consumers and investors. AMD's branding emphasized performance, reliability, and innovation, shifting perceptions from a budget alternative to a legitimate competitor capable of challenging industry leaders. Positive reviews, benchmark successes, and growing adoption in both consumer and enterprise markets gradually reshaped AMD's image, laying the psychological foundation for a broader comeback. Ultimately, this period highlighted the importance of preparation, vision, and perseverance. AMD's investments in architecture, graphics, and strategic partnerships created a platform for a resurgence that would soon transform the industry. The company had learned that technical innovation, combined with careful strategic planning, could enable a smaller player to not only survive but thrive against formidable competition. This era set the stage for AMD's breakthrough, proving that resilience and forward-thinking could redefine an underdog's place in the global technology landscape. By the late 2010s, AMD was on the cusp of a historic comeback. The company's Zen architecture had reached its final stages of development, promising to redefine the standards for CPU performance, efficiency, and scalability. For years, AMD had been in Intel's shadow, often viewed as the alternative choice for cost-conscious consumers. Now, Zen offered the opportunity to compete head-on, delivering high-performance processors that could appeal to enthusiasts, professionals, and enterprise clients alike. The launch of Ryzen in 2017 was a watershed moment. These processors showcased remarkable improvements in instructions per cycle, core counts, and energy efficiency, immediately challenging Intel's dominance in desktops and laptops. Ryzen's success was not just a technical achievement, it was a signal to the market that AMD had returned as a serious contender. Gamers, content creators, and PC enthusiasts praised Ryzen for its performance and value, creating a groundswell of support that began to shift public perception. AMD's approach to marketing and community engagement also played a critical role in this resurgence. The company actively communicated with users, listened to feedback, and promoted benchmarks that highlighted real-world advantages. By building trust and transparency, AMD cultivated a loyal community of supporters who became advocates for the brand. This grassroots enthusiasm amplified the impact of Ryzen's launch, demonstrating the power of combining technical innovation with effective storytelling and engagement. The company did not stop with desktop CPUs. AMD also revitalized its server offerings with EPYC processors, targeting data centers, cloud providers, and enterprise clients. EPYC delivered unprecedented core counts and performance per watt, addressing the growing demand for energy-efficient, high-performance computing. These chips enabled AMD to penetrate markets previously dominated by Intel, proving that the company could innovate across multiple segments simultaneously. Meanwhile, AMD continued to leverage its GPU expertise. Radeon graphics cards, combined with Ryzen CPUs, offered compelling solutions for gaming, content creation, and professional applications. By integrating CPU and GPU technologies and optimizing performance across platforms, AMD strengthened its ecosystem and offered users a cohesive, high-performance experience. This holistic approach differentiated AMD from competitors and reinforced the company's position as a leader in both processing and graphics technology. The late 2010s also underscored the importance of timing and market trends. AMD capitalized on growing demand for high-performance computing in gaming, cloud services, and professional workflows. By aligning product launches with market needs, the company maximized impact and visibility, ensuring that Ryzen and EPYC made a lasting impression. Strategic pricing, transparent communication, and innovative technology combined to create a perfect storm that elevated AMD from underdog to market challenger. Ultimately, this era marked the turning point in AMD's long journey. Years of persistence, technical refinement, and strategic investment culminated in a series of products that not only met but exceeded expectations. Ryzen and EPYC became symbols of AMD's resurgence, proving that a company with vision, innovation, and resilience could challenge the giants of the industry and reclaim its place as a leader in global computing. Entering the early 2020s, AMD's momentum was undeniable. The success of Ryzen and EPYC had established the company as a serious competitor in both consumer and enterprise markets. AMD had transformed from a struggling underdog into a formidable force capable of challenging industry leaders across multiple segments. But with recognition came new challenges: sustaining growth, keeping pace with technological innovation, and navigating the increasingly competitive and fast-moving semiconductor industry. AMD continued to refine and expand its Zen architecture, launching Zen 2 and Zen 3 processors that pushed performance, efficiency, and scalability even further. These chips delivered improvements not only in raw computational power but also in energy efficiency, a critical factor as data centers and enterprises increasingly prioritized sustainable computing. Ryzen processors now dominated enthusiast desktops, laptops, and gaming systems, while EPYC servers began to gain substantial traction in cloud infrastructure and enterprise deployments. Parallel to CPU innovation, AMD maintained its focus on graphics technology. The Radeon line evolved with new architectures, enhanced performance, and cutting-edge features for gaming, content creation, and professional visualization. By integrating CPU and GPU development, AMD offered cohesive platforms that cater to users who required both processing power and advanced graphics capabilities. This strategy created synergies across the product line and reinforced AMD's competitive advantage. Strategic partnerships and market positioning were equally important during this period. AMD collaborated with major tech companies, cloud providers, and gaming console manufacturers, securing its place in critical ecosystems. The company's chips powered next-generation consoles, high-performance computing clusters, and AI-driven applications, expanding AMD's footprint far beyond traditional PC markets. These partnerships not only generated revenue but also enhanced brand credibility and visibility. Financial performance mirrored technological success. Revenue growth, market share gains, and investor confidence reflected the impact of AMD's strategic vision and relentless focus on innovation. The company's disciplined approach to R&D, coupled with operational efficiency, enabled it to scale effectively while maintaining a high level of technical excellence. AMD's comeback was not a fleeting moment. It was a sustained, deliberate climb to industry leadership. This period also underscored the importance of agility and adaptation. AMD's leadership continuously assessed market trends, competitor strategies, and technological shifts, ensuring the company remained ahead of the curve. By anticipating customer needs and responding with innovative solutions, AMD demonstrated that resilience and foresight could overcome historical disadvantages and position a company for long-term success. The early 2020s solidified AMD's reputation as a pioneer and challenger in the semiconductor industry. Its journey from underdog to market leader served as a case study in strategic focus, technical innovation, and organizational perseverance. AMD's achievements during this era illustrated that even a smaller player, when guided by vision, discipline, and creativity, could redefine an entire market and transform global perceptions of what was possible in computing technology. By the mid-2020s, AMD had fully re-established itself as a dominant player in the semiconductor industry. Its Ryzen processors were praised for performance, efficiency, and affordability, making AMD a top choice for consumers and professionals alike. EPYC servers were gaining ground in enterprise and cloud markets, challenging Intel's long-held dominance and offering compelling solutions for data centers seeking high performance per watt. AMD's resurgence was no longer just a story of recovery. It was a narrative of leadership and innovation. The company continued to innovate relentlessly. Zen 4 and beyond pushed the boundaries of CPU performance, core scaling, and energy efficiency, demonstrating AMD's commitment to staying at the cutting edge. These processors delivered advantages in gaming, content creation, scientific computing, and enterprise applications, further solidifying AMD's reputation as a provider of premium computing solutions. Performance benchmarks consistently positioned AMD alongside, or ahead of, its rivals, a testament to the company's sustained technical excellence. Simultaneously, AMD's graphics division advanced with new Radeon GPUs, competing effectively with NVIDIA in high-performance gaming and professional visualization markets. The integration of CPU and GPU technologies, along with the development of APUs, gave AMD unique differentiation in laptops, gaming consoles, and compact devices. This holistic approach allowed the company to deliver versatile, high-performance solutions across diverse computing segments, appealing to a wide range of customers. AMD also demonstrated strategic foresight in responding to market shifts. The company embraced emerging trends in AI, machine learning, cloud computing, and high-performance computing, ensuring its products addressed evolving industry needs. Strategic partnerships with cloud providers, OEMs, and gaming console manufacturers expanded AMD's reach and influence, reinforcing its status as a key player in multiple ecosystems. By aligning technological innovation with market demand, AMD was able to capture opportunities that competitors struggled to exploit. Culturally, AMD's transformation was equally significant. The company fostered an environment of innovation, collaboration, and resilience, learning from past setbacks to build a stronger, more agile organization. Leadership emphasized transparency, community engagement, and customer focus, cultivating trust and loyalty among consumers, developers, and enterprise clients. This combination of technical achievement and cultural strength proved critical to AMD's sustained success. Financially, AMD's market performance reflected its technological achievements. Rising revenue, increased market share, and improved investor confidence validated the company's strategic decisions. AMD's comeback demonstrated that sustained innovation, disciplined execution, and careful positioning could turn historical disadvantages into competitive advantages. The company had moved from struggling underdog to respected leader, influencing industry standards and shaping the future of computing. By the mid-2020s, AMD's journey stood as a remarkable example of resilience, vision, and strategic execution. Its success was built on a foundation of innovation, adaptability, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. The company had shown that even a smaller player, once considered second-tier, could redefine markets, challenge industry giants, and set new benchmarks for performance and efficiency. AMD's story was no longer about comeback. It was about leadership, influence, and the power of perseverance in the fast-evolving world of technology. As AMD entered the late 2020s, the company's transformation from an underdog to a dominant player in the semiconductor industry was fully realized. Years of strategic planning, technical innovation, and resilience had culminated in a period of unprecedented growth and influence. Ryzen and EPYC processors had redefined expectations in desktop, laptop, and server markets, while Radeon GPUs remained competitive across gaming and professional visualization. AMD had proven that a combination of vision, discipline, and ingenuity could overcome even the most entrenched industry giants. The success of AMD during this period was the result of a holistic approach to technology, strategy, and culture. The company consistently aligned product development with market demand, delivering high-performance, energy-efficient solutions for a wide range of customers. Partnerships with cloud providers, gaming console manufacturers, and enterprise clients extended AMD's reach and influence, demonstrating the power of strategic collaboration in a competitive global industry. AMD's organizational culture played a crucial role in sustaining its momentum. The company fostered a spirit of innovation, encouraging engineers and designers to pursue bold ideas while maintaining a focus on efficiency and real-world performance. transparency with the community, and engagement with consumers built trust, loyalty, and advocacy, amplifying AMD's impact far beyond the products themselves. Leadership emphasized learning from past mistakes, embracing challenges, and taking calculated risks, all essential elements in driving the company forward. The financial performance of AMD reflected its technological and strategic success. Market share gains, revenue growth, and improved investor confidence validated the company's approach, signaling that sustained innovation and strategic foresight could deliver long-term competitive advantage. AMD had not only returned to relevance but had also established itself as a trusted leader in the global semiconductor industry, shaping trends, standards, and expectations for years to come. AMD's journey was also a story of perseverance and resilience. The company had faced setbacks, competitive pressures, and periods of doubt, yet it remained focused on long-term goals. By investing in research and development, cultivating strategic partnerships, and fostering a culture of excellence, AMD had turned historical challenges into opportunities, proving that determination and innovation could transform even the smallest player into an industry leader. Looking back, AMD's comeback illustrates several key lessons: the importance of technical innovation aligned with market needs, the value of strategic partnerships, the power of community and cultural engagement, and the necessity of perseverance in the face of adversity. The company's trajectory demonstrates that success is rarely instantaneous. It is the result of deliberate, sustained effort, learning from failures, and the courage to innovate consistently. As AMD continues to advance, its legacy as a technology powerhouse is firmly established. From near obscurity to industry leadership, AMD's story serves as an inspiration to underdogs everywhere, proving that vision, resilience, and strategic execution can redefine the future of technology. The company's journey is a testament to the transformative power of innovation, the impact of strong leadership, and the enduring potential of those willing to challenge the status quo and pursue excellence relentlessly.